All right, guys, we are back. It's a hot day here in the East Coast, or really all through America, but especially here on the East Coast, it's extremely hot. And yeah, so we're gonna push through this. If you hear a sound in the background right now, it's my fan. If I put my air on, it would overpower the mic. So if you hear it, forgive me for any sound effects. But yeah, our next guest is somebody, of course, I met off TikTok. I've met a lot of great people throughout the year and a half that I've been going live, and this woman came in. I don't know. I can't keep track of when I meet them, because it just seems like I've known them for months upon months. But some people I've just met like the other day, and it's like, oh hey, and now they're a staple. They're in all my lives. But she's come in. She's always been very supportive, really sweet. And as I've said many times, like, you connect with people. And I'm just a guy on her screen, I'm just a guy. And so I don't get to learn a lot about everybody unless they share with me. And I know she has health conditions and things, but, I don't truly know a lot about her. But I know that there's a definite connection because of the health issues and stuff. And, but, a lot of times people come in and they like me, and I don't really know why they like me. It doesn't mean I'm insecure about it. I just go, I don't know why you stay. Maybe it's because I'm silly or whatever, or maybe it's we connect on a deeper level, and I think that's more what it is here. I mean, I think she finds me silly too, but I think we've connected on a really more personal level because, I pour my heart out on the internet and tell my story, and so I hope that inspires others to do the same thing, because I feel like for those of us who have been through so much, we should share our stories so that, we can help somebody else coming up just like us. Anyway. Yeah, so I really enjoy her. I really call her a friend now, and I like having her around. She's just a fun lady to talk to, and she gets my kind of sense of humor, and she's fun. She's not like uptight or anything, which I love. So anyway, would you like to tell us your name and a little bit about yourself?
Sure, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Tim, for having me here. This is really, really a good format for me, and it helps me get some feelings out, so I appreciate that. Sure. And a quick caveat, if you hear my dog barking in the background, I apologize for that. But anyway, so my name's Cheryl McKelvey, and I am 67 years old. I'm probably one of your older followers, I would imagine. But I'm married. I'm a dog mom. I'm a huge animal lover. I live about 50 miles south of St. Louis, Missouri, on a bit of property with my husband and our 2 fur babies. We weren't able to have kids, so we're one of those couples where our dogs are our children, spoiled rotten, just like they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I've had depression for a long time, and it's mostly controlled with my medication, except for those demons that you talk a lot about, and I relate so well to that. So I'll be getting into those here shortly too. Mm-hmm. In the last several years, I've had more and more back and hip pain, probably from my job of sitting at a computer desk for 8 hours plus a day, over a period of 49 years. And so I know that took a big toll on my back and my hips. And the other thing is probably from not exercising enough. So that's one of my demons right there. I've struggled with my weight all my life, and I have very low self-esteem. But I am trying now to exercise more, to make some changes, to get healthier. So trying to move in the right direction with all of that.
Yeah, I wonder, I would imagine that having a loving husband who loves you for you helps.
Oh, yeah, it does. He's a great husband. And then last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I spent most of last year dealing with that. Luckily, I had a really good outcome. After 2 surgeries and 16 rounds of radiation. And thank goodness I didn't have to do chemo. So that was a blessing in itself. But as of my last mammogram 2 months ago, everything is good. So
That's awesome.
I couldn't have asked for a better outcome, and I'm really super thankful for that. And then I recently had some cataract surgery, which you know about,
Mm.
and that all went really well. So um, I am very thankful for that as well.
Yeah.
And then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, just go ahead. You're good.
Okay. And then my big thing, and lastly, is I retired at the beginning of this year after, like I mentioned, 49 years. And so now I'm trying to kind of figure out what my new life's purpose is. Um, for me, that was a big change, and it was very exciting, but kind of stressful in a way too, because I mean, now I have to figure out what my days should be and what I should be, you know, taking up my time with and stuff like that. So,
Sure.
again, it was very exciting, but just a big change for me.
Yeah. That's
So
kind
that's
of where I'm at
pretty
now
much,
too.
yeah, pretty much me in a nutshell. And my, as far as my struggles, the biggest daily struggle I have right now is this pain I'm going through. Most days I call it like my normal pain because it's just always there, and I try to ignore it. But once in a while it'll flare up, and I'll have a bad day, and that's when it's just not a good day.
Right.
But I'm trying to exercise more now. To hopefully that'll help. And last year, right before I found out about the cancer, I was working with my doctor trying to, we were trying to figure out what all this pain is, if there's something we can do about it and all of that. But then the cancer popped up, so, and then cataract issues, so that all kind of had to be put on hold. So I want to get going with that again now and try to see if I can figure out what to do about all this pain. It's just so exhausting.
Sure. Well, that's one of the
And then,
trials with life where it's hard because every time you go to stop, you're trying to like freeze your life, pause it, so that you can deal with one thing at a time. But right when you get ready to try to take care of it, the next thing pops up and the next thing pops up. So it's just life goes on, and you're trying to move in a slower pace, and it just doesn't. It just speeds up more and more, and it's really
boy, that's the truth.
yeah, it's really hard to battle all these things at once. If you had one demon, one thing to battle, it's like, okay, it's hard, it's challenging, right? It's trying, but you got this. But when it piles on over and over and over, and then you try to tell yourself like, okay, if I can just get rid of this chronic pain, I'll feel better. But then you wake up the next day and you don't have chronic pain, and now your eyes are bothering, or now your mental health is bothering you, or something. It's like it makes it hard to feel grateful and happy when you're constantly under attack.
That is absolutely true. And especially like with the last year for me, like you just said, everything popping up, and it was hard because, it's too much to handle all at one time. I mean, for me, I have to kind of do one thing at a time. And, I don't know, it forces you to put things into perspective, I guess. But when they're all coming at you so quickly like that, it's hard to keep up, And then, like now with my being retired, which, it sounds so crazy because I'm extremely happy and I'm loving being retired. But on the other hand, it's like, it's such a change, and I'm trying to figure out, well, what do I do with my day, or what is my goal now? There's so much I want to do. Like, for example, I would love to go volunteer at an animal shelter, and walk the dogs or something. But I'm so limited right now with this pain I'm dealing with that I can't do a whole lot. And it's so frustrating, So, yeah, it's definitely, life throwing all these little curveballs at you, I guess. And when you have a mental illness like depression, it really kind of messes with you, which kind of gets me into the demons that you talk about a lot. And, this is one of the reasons I started following you, Tim, is because I just love your posts and your live streams. And you talk about things that I experience on a daily basis. But I tend to feel like I'm the only one who has these feelings or has these demons and things,
Mm-hmm.
But in your post, when I when I listen to your post or listen to your live stream, it just feels like you're talking directly to me, and you're helping me directly with my specific issues.
Yeah.
And the big one I can relate to are these demons. Like in your post on Monday afternoon, you were talking about how they're a daily fight and they try to sabotage your joy and bring you down, And that is so true for me. So, like, for example, when I get excited, that I beat cancer, the demon will tell me, yeah, but it can come back anytime,
Yeah.
trying to take my joy. Or like when I'm proud of myself for exercising more, the demon will say, yeah, but it's probably too little, too late.
Yeah.
And when I get happy about being retired, and the demon will say, but look at everything you want to do now, but you can't because of this pain. And it's your own fault because, this is something you should have been taken care of. And so now you really deserve all that pain that you're in,
Yeah. Nothing's ever good enough.
No. And I carry a lot of guilt over that, because now that I'm retired, my husband wants to go do a lot of things, and I do too. But right now, it's just so hard, and it's just not something I can do. So I don't know. And I don't know. Why do we do this to ourselves,
I know.
I guess it's the depression talking, but
It is, yeah. You fall into that burden mentality where you're like, now I'm a burden, even though your husband loves you unconditionally. He's stuck with you through breast cancer and all the things you go through, and he clearly loves you and he's willing to stick it out with you. And he's never given you any inkling that he would ever leave you no matter what. And then you have all this evidence in front of you, 100%, like, he's with you regardless. And yet you still reflect. Like I said, I don't have the wife aspect, but I've had where 100% proof where it's like, I know I'm fine. I know I'm going to get through this. And I just did this and I overcame that. And there's times where you're in a really dark place and you say, if I could just get out of this, I'm going to be okay. And then you get out of it and you're not okay. And it's infuriating because you're like, I'm so fucking done with this. Like, I don't want to feel like this. Why am I always at war with myself? And why is it that these demons have such an effect over me still after all these years of fighting them? I should understand that I know these are mirages, these are tricks, but they still carry a lot of weight, and they just know how to play to your emotions, and they just know how to mess you up.
Boy, that is definitely true. And it's like you can read my mind, Tim. This is amazing because all the things you said about my husband, Mark has always been there for me through all of this crap, I guess you'd say, that I've been through. And I still, and we love each other, we do. But I always, in the back of my mind, my demon is telling me, I don't know what he sees in you. Why is he even sticking around for all of this,
Yep.
And it's so infuriating because it's really taking your joy, There's no reason for me to think that Mark feels that way.
Right.
But it's just something that it's definitely a demon. I like that word for it because it's something that's, insinuating itself into your mind to take all of the good things and the joy away from you. And the one thing I think, and I know I'm not the only person that has this, you talk about it a lot. Other people, your other followers talk about it. But the thing that really helps me in your post when you talk about these things every day, and that's one of my new routines is every morning I get up and look at your newest posts out there. But it helps me understand that I'm not the only one going through this. You know,
Sure.
it's something that a lot of people deal with. And, you know, you also give me an outlet to talk about these things in your live stream to, you know, some degree, because you have a lot of people on there at one time. And even this podcast, which was really a wonderful invitation. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
And even just viewing your posts, it helps me self-reflect, you know, on the thoughts going through my head and why I need to just ignore them, or you know, put a positive thought in my own head or something, you know, because I don't normally talk about this stuff to people. You know, first of all, because I feel like when I list everything out, I'm like, oh my God, Cheryl, you're such a mess, you know.
Right.
And you know, everybody has issues. But the other thing is, not everyone understands, you know. Like, for example, my husband, Mark, he's a wonderful guy, but he doesn't go through these things. So I don't really think he fully understands, you know, the demons and what you're, what's going on in your head. He just doesn't get the struggles, you know. He'll empathize with me, or he'll try to say something supportive, but I don't think he really deep down understands, you know. So I don't really say a whole lot. But, you know, when I view your posts or talking to you, it's really nice. And don't get me wrong, I love my husband. We have a good marriage and everything. Yeah. But it's so nice to talk to someone that truly understands and truly gets what I'm experiencing, you know, on a different level, in a different way, but you get it, you know.
Yeah, that's all we want. We want to know someone out there gets it. Like my grandma doesn't get it. My mom doesn't get it, really. They've been through hard things in their life, but they don't. Mm-hmm. They don't get this. They don't. You know, and there's things that I don't get that they've been through, right? Like so
exactly.
It's just it's okay. You can still love somebody unconditionally. You can still be there for them and support them and be an ear for them. But at the same time, you know, it's hard to give a real opinion when you don't know them. Like your husband, I'm sure tries his best, but yeah, unless you've been through this, it's really hard. And it's obviously everything your husband says matters to you, but sometimes there's just certain words that another person says. Like I've always been anti any person who wears a shirt that says like I'm a survivor of something, because anybody who survived something knows other survivors just based on how they carry themselves, how they talk. You can feel the energy. Like we just know. And I don't think you need to do it. You don't have to like try to promote it like as if like you want attention. You know, there's a lot of soldiers that come home from the war and they'll be like, I served in so-and-so war. And it's like, why? Like you just want the attention for it. But like real survivors, like we just kind of know, man. We can feel it. And you know, I'm good at like sensing when people have been through stuff, but I don't know, and I don't half the time I don't ask. I never really asked you, you know, tell me some things about you until now. You kind of divulged a few things here and there, but never really said a whole lot, which is, you know, we just never had that. It was never lined up for that to happen. But but yeah, no, I get it. Like it's okay to feel that way, because there are people out here that just get what you've been through, because they've lived that life. And you know, I think that's maybe what also helps you in your marriage, is that maybe if you and your husband have both been through so much shit, it might be too much. Maybe he's the balance in your life. He's kind of the voice, the peaceful voice that kind of just says it's gonna be okay. And because you love him, because you trust him, and because usually when he says that, it's right, you believe him.
That's
Whereas
true.
Most people just say that to you just to tell you that because they don't know what else to tell you. But you feel calm with him because, you know, obviously you married him and whatnot. And you've lived with him.
My gosh, Tim.
So
you must have a hidden camera somewhere in my house here, because last year when I found out about the cancer, I mean, course, at first I was terrified. I mean, before we found out that it wasn't an overly aggressive type and that, the doctors thought they could take care of it. Before all of that, I was scared. And I could tell Mark was too. He was scared, but he just kept telling me, honey, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And, I knew deep down, neither one of us knew if that was going to be true or not, because we didn't know yet, But just him saying that to me, it just calmed me down, and it just made me feel like, okay, we're just going to find out. We're going to figure this out, and, we'll take it on however it comes. But just him saying that to me was so helpful and so calming. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you knew that, Tim, but you hit it right on the head with that one.
Yeah, just
So
I'm a thinker. I'm a feeler.
you are.
But
You're a smart guy, I tell you.
thanks. No, but I mean, I can relate in other ways. I can't relate to the lover aspect of it, but I can relate with friends and family and things. And like I said, I've been there. Like me and my mom have been through hell together, but even her, she doesn't fully understand everything. But I do take her opinion very strongly because it matters to me what she says. Because one, she brought me into this world, but two, she's seen me go through most of my toughest times in life. But then I've met so many strangers through doing the podcast and social media, and it's like, it's amazing how you can just connect with somebody and they can just get you, and they don't even know you, right? Like it's really trippy. It throws you off, but there's so many people in this world that are going through hell every friggin' day, and
that's so true.
And it's easy to get caught up in your own bullshit. It's easy to just think that you have it the worst and that life is only unfair to you, and, you must be cursed and whatever you say, God, and, I'm not one of his chosen people or whatever hell people say. But then you see what really is going on out here, and, the things that are glorified, the things that are shown in bright letters and things, it's not what we go through. It's unless it's like a freak show or it's something, just for a sad story, just to show off. But a lot of times they show you only the rich and the glamour and all the things. They don't show you the harsh realities of life most times. And and I think, like, for me, and I think you fall in this category too, right? Where a lot of times there are people who fall in the same category as us that are disabled or have been through a lot, but because they're so severe, right? They're whatever, they have stage 4 cancer, they're died, like they will get more attention because it's just this sad thing that they want to show off. But like those of us who are kind of in the middle, who have our wits together, who have somewhat decent health, we're just kind of like, you're healthy enough to not be disabled, but you're unhealthy enough to not be abled at the same time, where it's like you fall in this category where people don't feel bad for you. Not that we want them to, but they also don't take us serious at the same time. It's this whole mixed bag of things where it's like we're almost to them too normal, even though we are closer to being, like the opposite side than we are to the quote unquote normies, the normal people. So it's like we're in this middle area where it's like, and because we carry ourselves strongly and we don't pity ourselves, that also goes against us, right? Because it's like, no, you're still what you are, but because you're strong-headed and because you decide to speak up and you fight for things, that could bite you on the ass, because you would be better off just playing the weaker version of yourself. And it's like, no. So it there's a lot of tricks to this whole thing that I've learned, and I feel like just being real and authentic is the only way to go. And if it bothers people, it bothers people. You just I love that about your posts and your lives. I mean, it's just, you're just saying it the way it is, and it's like you said a minute ago about being in the middle, where I'm not
bad enough, and I don't want pity, like you said. That's not what I'm talking about. But it's not like I'm on death's door or anything like that. But on the other hand, I'm at the point where things aren't right. I feel like my life could be so much more because of all these little things I mentioned. But I never say anything. I don't really, I guess you said this once before too. It's like you kind of hide everything behind a smile and just keep going, which is good, but there's a lot that you're hiding under there, and it's hard to carry all of that underneath that smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know what someone's going through. Just because they're smiling or laughing, having a good time, it doesn't mean they're not in a lot of pain, physically, mentally, whatever. Like, you just don't know. And I say it all the time. I'm carrying a lot of pain, a lot of weight. And I try to carry it well. I try to be okay with everything. But some days you just don't want to do it anymore. Some days you just want to be on vacation from yourself because you're like, this sucks. I didn't sign up for this. And it just, those days add up and they add up, and you're going deeper into your life, and you just feel like it's passing you by without you being able to do anything. Is it true? Maybe not, but it just feels like it. It's sad, and it's so much, and it's just like, that's why I try to treat everybody the same. I don't try to give anybody any kind of grief for this. Like, I try to be understanding, even with the trolls. I try to be understanding because it's like, I get it. Everybody's a kid. Everybody's been in a place where they're immature and say stupid stuff, or they're not understanding. And then you get older and you have kids of your own, or you go through your own, ailments, and then you really understand when life actually starts kicking you around. I think if everybody went through something traumatic right away, I think maybe we'd be more understanding of each other, but not everybody does. A lot of people get really lucky and they go through life and they don't live in this world of consequences or regret, and they just have a good time. And whereas a lot of us, we're getting our ass kicked every day. And they don't understand that.
People don't know how good they've got it sometimes.
No.
Until they have a crisis or something come up. And you are so patient. I'll tell you, on these live streams, I don't know how you do it. Some of those trolls that say things to you, it just makes me so mad. I just want to reach out and smack somebody. But, like you said, people are going to be people. I don't know. Until they have something come up in their lives, they kind of just float along on their arrogance, and they think everything's perfect. Nothing's ever going to touch them. And, not that I wish it on anyone, but someday, people find out, and I don't know. It's just hard sometimes when those people say things to you.
Well, as I said to you, or as I've said to you and others, and I've said on here many times, the reason that I've come up with is I can't let anybody get to me who doesn't fight with me every morning. This morning in general was just a real fight. I did not want to get out of bed. My eyes were extra blurry. I was extra tired. I just was not feeling life. I'm in a better mood now, but I was really not feeling it. And there is nobody that grabbed my hand and said, "Come here, TJ, I got you." No one gave me a hug. No one did anything. It was all me. And and then there's a lot of people who do show me love and are supportive, and they're not them either. And so for me, it's like, you know what? Like, you can say whatever you want about me, but you just don't know me, and you don't live my life. You don't fight for me. You don't do anything. You don't pay my bills. You do nothing for me. So how can I let somebody hurt my feelings, who's probably 15 at most, say something awful about me, and they don't know anything about me? Like, they know nothing about me, and they could say what they want about my eyes and all these things. That's cute. Go ahead, but like, you're a nobody, to me. So and I mean, I am more patient, and I try my best, because I try not to be that person that jumps to conclusions and gets overly dramatic and overreacts to things, even though I want to. But I get mental health, and I get being a stupid teenager or young boy who, just does and says stupid things. I was never that bad, but at the same time, I went on to like AOL chats and pretended to be a girl and lied about my age and just joked and but it was relatively harmless. But
Right.
But it's like still, I remember that, and I didn't grow up with the internet right away. I had some time to learn about it and see it progress. Whereas these kids are just completely inundated and just thrown right into the internet, and everything is at their fingertips, and
Yeah.
everything instantaneous, and they're just follow the leader. They don't really have any gumption or leadership.
Yeah.
And so it's
And they
like,
can say things with no consequences, just blurt things out, and
yeah,
nothing happens,
yeah,
which is not good.
yeah, and more likely they can rage bait me into cursing them out and getting me in trouble. So it sucks, and it's really infuriating. And on the bad days, it's really hard because I don't want to interact with them. Because I want to curse them all out. I want to impregnate all their moms, as I like to say. But like, but it's tiring. But at the same time, it's like, you're older than I am, and it's like you get to a point where you just mature, you get older, and you're just like, you know what, I don't give a fuck what people think about me, because at the end of the day, the only person that really gets in my way, the only person that really makes me feel ugly is me. So it's like, and you have somebody who finds you attractive, you have someone who loves to lay next to you every night, and your demons still make it like it's not good enough. It is, but they make you feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get compliments on a daily, and I still feel ugly. I still feel like I'm not good enough. It doesn't mean anything.
I get it. I mean, I definitely understand that you are a handsome guy, Tim.
Thank you.
I know you get that a lot, but you are.
Yeah, thank you. No, and I truly know, like, I feel way better about myself than I ever did, but I know I'm not really all that ugly. But when you go day after day and you're alone and you can't find anybody, and it just eats at you, and then it's like your demons have like these things they use against you, like proof. It's like you're in like an interrogating room, and they're just like, oh yeah, you're attractive, huh? You're handsome, right? I mean, that's cute coming from like, a 17-year-old Guatemalan kid. But how come, nobody in your area finds you attractive? How come you're always single and alone and sad every night? Yeah, they really like you, huh? That isn't funny. All the ones that like you live in Africa or, the Philippines and shit. But none of them ever like you in America. Or they like you in America, but they live in, Ohio. Well, Ohio wouldn't be too bad, but they don't live anywhere near you. And then you go, well, yeah, but somebody will, yeah, okay, and then they attack all these other things, and you're just in an interrogating room, constantly trying to fight all this evidence that they put up on the board, and they're like, yeah, well, remember, July 7th of 97, remember when you did this, and that girl turned you down, and you're just like, what is this? Why am I being completely berated for my past? And it sucks, but you got to do it maybe not every day, but almost every day, just fighting yourself. And so it's like at the end of the day, a single person is not going to hurt my feelings anymore, because I have to fight somebody who has my whole history against me, knows me better than I know me, and I have to fight that warrior.
Yeah, those damn demons.
Those damn demons, yeah. And they come in bunches, and they attack you from all angles, and they attack your most intimate areas, and your things you're most insecure about. And
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
they know your insecurities.
For sure. Yeah, and so you have to fight back. But that's the problem is a lot of times we spend too much time leaning on the ropes and just trying to dodge. But you have to start swinging back on them and just doing things that they tell you can't do. And that's one of the things live was for me, where it's like I didn't want to go live at all, and then I just said, you know what, fuck it, just go live. I know this is going to be a shit show some days, but I know you're going to get made fun of and blah blah blah, and maybe it'll hurt some days, but after a while, man, you never know. And I just kind of got used to it, because at the end of the day, who's going to hurt your feelings? That they don't know you. Whereas like me, I'm the one that looks at myself in the mirror and goes, yuck. They don't get to see me, they don't get to see me naked or, getting out of the shower or whatever, right? They don't see me when I'm really vulnerable and where I can really attack myself. at random times too. Like I brought it up many times where I've attacked myself when I'm in a good mood, where I'm just sitting there watching a show, just, binge watching something, having a good time, and then just a random like news flash, like dun dun, you're ugly, and you're like, the fuck was that?
Oh my gosh, why do we do that?
It's
It's just
it's so
it's
awful.
it's like there's somebody else living inside of you. It's like
Yeah.
your evil twin or something that knows exactly how to get to you, and I don't know. It's but it is it's a daily fight, like you said. I mean, it's. I'm so sorry if you can hear that.
No, it's okay.
It it does what it can to just ruin whatever happiness you're feeling in that moment. And I like in your lives, in your posts, all of your messages, and I want you to know this from my heart, Tim. Everything that you put out there is so, so powerful. I mean, I'm so glad I found your page and found your posts and everything, because it seems like on more days than I can count, when I get up and look at your last post, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling that today too. And you always have such an upbeat, message to pass along. And it's something that I just always need to hear at that very moment. I mean, they help me kind of reaffirm to myself that, yeah, I've got all of these demons telling me all of this nasty stuff, but you know what? I'm going to keep pushing until I get what I want. And I'm not going to let them beat me down, But if I could beat cancer, I can beat this too, And that's what you put out there for everybody. And I just hope you realize how many people you're helping with this. It's just amazing.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And I really appreciate it.
Like I said, I never thought I would ever be able to reach as many people as I have, because I never thought anyone would care about anything I had to say. It was like I was the quiet kid who never had any, aspirations to being a leader. I just wanted somebody eventually to hear me, just as a person, not even like what I had to, just like what I had to say. It was just, I wanted someone to just listen to me for a second. Just, I have opinions on things. I care about things. I may be wrong about half this shit, but I just want somebody to just take notice that I have an opinion too. And then,
yeah.
And then it gradually became something more. But I don't know. As I just, for me, it's very important for me to just be as genuine as possible and just be real, because I think a lot of people in our situations, we hear a lot of bullshit, whether it's from our doctors, from our family, from strangers, people we work with, whatever. Like, we hear a lot of it's going to be okay, or, even if you're like, oh, I'm sorry you have cancer, and yeah, you could do this and do that, but they don't really care about you. Like, if you get better, great. If you don't, whatever. It's no shit, it's nothing off of their back, right? Like, they're not going to lose sleep, really. Maybe some of them, the good ones will, but like, I genuinely give a shit. Like, somebody comes in and says they have stage 4 cancer, I care. Like, I don't want that to be, like, I don't want someone to die. I truly give a shit about people, and I struggle with that every day, because I've also been abused and screwed over and misled and mistreated by people. But I try to be as real as possible, because I think that's what so many of us don't get to hear. And I'm not saying I'm the only one that does it, because I'm not, but we don't get to hear a lot of people just say, like, look at themselves in the mirror and just say, I fucking think I'm ugly today. Like, everybody, I think, especially on social media, there's a lot of things that get glamorized and shown a certain way, because it tugs at the heartstrings and things. But I don't know, I just feel like just being real and just saying what I feel about myself, and whether it's true or not, that's just how I feel in the moment. It may be sad, it may be aggravating, it may be great to hear, it may be inspiring, but some days I'm not trying to be inspiring, I'm not trying to be motivational. I'm just telling you that today I feel like I suck. Today I feel Like, I don't, like the other day, I posted a video saying I'm tired of being disabled. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to overcome it, but I don't want to be disabled today. And I'm saying that as a person who advocates for people with disabilities, because we all feel that way.
Absolutely.
I don't think you wake up every day and go, you know what, fucking cancer. Like, I don't think you've ever woken up one day and was like, cancer's fun. Like, even on the good days.
No.
You know?
Nope.
None of that shit's fun. It's not. And you deal with it, and you learn to laugh it off and have a dark sense of humor and have a good time and make the most of your situations. But it ain't fun. It's
no, and that, the genuine, what am I trying to say? You being real like that on the lives and in your posts, I think people can really feel that, and you said it before, because people can tell when you're being fake, and that, I think, is another thing that really touched my heart, is that I can watch your posts and your lives, and even if you're not having a good day, it's real. And I mean, I guess we could say misery loves company, because I can feel like, well, see, I'm not the only one, number one, and everybody's allowed to have a bad day. There's days when my demons will hit me for 3 days or whatever, but I have to come back and say, okay, demons, you can have 3 days, but that's it. No more than that. I'm not letting you have it anymore.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's just so nice to have, someone out there, like you said, number one, that really cares, because that really comes across. And also that, things you're going through, I know I keep saying this over and over, but sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Sorry, I got another call. But it's like you can feel that you're also someone that's going through the same thing that I'm going through in a different way, but you just don't feel so alone. And your posts help me think, kind of self-reflect. I know I said that before, but helps me put things in a better perspective. Like this morning, I was not feeling good at all either. And I looked at your post from this morning, and it just, it helps me put things into perspective. It's like, yeah, you don't feel good today, but, you can keep going. It's going to be okay. We'll get through this day. And then when I got on your live, you always make me laugh. It's just like, you go on about the dreams and everything, and I just crack up. And no matter how I'm feeling, if I'm down or I'm not feeling good or I'm in a lot of pain, it's just, I love your humor. I love the way you make everybody laugh. And it's just such an uplifting thing,
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes. It's just, just laugh a little bit about something.
Sure.
And it kind of takes all of that heaviness off of your heart and off your mind. And it never fails. Even when you are having a bad day, meaning you personally, you always make us laugh. You always turn it into something funny. And I know that's hard when you're not feeling good or you're down, but it's just so uplifting. It just shows how much you care about everybody.
Yeah, because I know what it's like to be, like, I always meet people at different levels of, their trauma, whatever they're dealing with. And so I know I've met people who are well beyond where I'm at and where I'm trying to get. And I've met people that are well below where I used to be, well below where I'm at now. And they are where I used to be. And, I don't know. I guess it's part to do with the vision thing. It's something that's come from it. It's like my third eye, where it's like I sense emotion, I sense things, and I can see a lot of things that most people can't. And yeah, I just feel people's pain. I don't want to see anybody upset or frustrated. I make a lot of jokes. Try to have a good time and whatever, but at the end of the day, like, I just care about people not feeling alone and, having a place just to come and even for a minute, just to cool off and, recharge or just, get out of their head for a minute. And, I know I can't take away anyone's real pain or anything, but if I can help a moment, then good, I did my job. So,
absolutely.
but it's
and that's so special. That's such a unique quality,
yeah.
And I know I appreciate it a whole lot.
But it comes with a price too, right? Because it's, when you spend a lot of time trying to make other people happy and you have no idea how to make yourself happy, it's hard. Because it's like, it's good because I love making other people happy. I love making other people smile and things, and that's fantastic. But it's like you see others gaining traction and happiness, and maybe they find love or something, and you're just like, then you start to turn on yourself, like, well, what's wrong with me? Why is it that I keep giving to people and I keep suffering in the end? And so it turns on you too, because you're still where you are. And
isn't that ironic?
Yeah, you give, and then it's not that you are jealous of those who've gained something from your live or whatever. Like, I've met people and they've gotten viral videos and things, and I'm not envious or jealous of that. Like, good for them. But there's a point where you just go like, when is it my turn, right? And you get drained because you genuinely care, and you're not doing this to get some sort of gratification from it. But at the same time, you do it long enough, and you're busting your ass, and you're trying, and you're helping, and you're caring, and you're like, when is it my turn? And you spend so much time trying to help people, and it's like, I don't know how to take care of myself sometimes. I don't know how to love myself the way I should. I know how to love other people. I know how to give people attention and smiles and things, but sometimes I don't know how to do that for myself, because I don't. So maybe is it that I don't have any left over for myself, or is it just I just truly don't know how? And that's something I've been trying to cope with and figure out, because I do love myself. I do care for me, but at the same time, I don't really know how to be happy, because I'm always fighting something. I'm always at war. And I don't know how to turn that off sometimes. Like, I truly don't know how to just sit down and breathe and be like, because when I do that, immediately it's like, oh shit, I gotta find a new job. Oh shit, my eyes are still bad. Oh my God. Like, and it's just, you're like, I don't know how to friggin' turn that part, that fight or flight mode. I don't know how to turn the fight part off, because I'm always fighting. Even when it seems like I'm in a good mood, because every time I'm talking to you guys and laughing and having a good time, there's always a moment, like a thought that'll, the dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, and it's like, you don't have anything planned for the rest of this week. You suck. And it's like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. But I'm still trying to keep it cool and laugh, and, that's why sometimes I may seem like I'm zoning out, because I'm like, a random thought pops in my head, and hell, it happens to me at church or anywhere I go. And I just will have a random thought that'll take over, and it's just like, well, damn, man, I wasn't even on that kind of time. Like, why are we doing this? Like, I'm just a Debbie Downer, like just taking my own joy away from myself. So, but
that evil twin popping in there.
Yeah, I just
uninvited.
There's a version of ourselves that, at least for me, I feel like it just hates me and just wants me to be unhappy forever. Like, I always use the analogy of that movie, Jumanji, the first one, the original one, where there's they're playing this game, these kids are playing this game, and eventually everything in this game starts to come to life, whatever their dice lands on, and then there's like a lion that comes out and whatever, but there's a hunter that comes out, and throughout the movie, like, they're trying to figure out how to end the game because their parents were trapped in the game and things, and and whatever. And so, actually, no, I think it's their older selves were trapped in the game. And so they're trying to play this game and get all this craziness to stop. But this hunter, every time they're like starting to do something, the hunter just, like a bullet just goes by their head, and it's constantly disrupting their day. Like, every time they're playing the game, this stupid hunter follows them everywhere they go. And every now and then this hunter just completely distracts them from what they're trying to do. and he's trying to end them from playing the game, from finishing the game. That's his whole goal, is trying to finish them from completing their mission. And I've always felt like I have that like little hunter that's constantly just showing up at random times, and like I'll just be watching a show and I hear a bullet go by my head and not my cat, just choom, and it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell was that? What who? Oh shit!
Why?
You
You know?
again? Yeah, damn, dude, I was eating a fruit platter. Leave me alone. I'm not bothering
And
you.
do you think that is, I mean, because, I don't know a lot of people. Well, I know a lot of people have depression. I can't say that I personally know a lot of people, but do you think that's just a symptom of the depression itself? Or do you think people that don't suffer from depression or anxiety, do you think that happens to them too?
I mean, I'm
You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm sure everybody. I mean, I think everybody has been sad at one point or another in their life. I think everybody has faced some sort of doubt, insecurity, and obvious, all those things, right? But I think for
But
some,
those demons that pop up like that, do you think everybody does that?
maybe to some degree, but not as severe as what we go through. I don't think it's
Yeah.
because I think there are people out there that I genuinely believe that they're just, whether they're overconfident, conceited, whatever. I do think there are some people out there that just truly think they're the shit, and whether that's gross or whatever to you, there's times where I see people and I go, God, I wish I was that confident. And maybe it's
Yeah.
fake, maybe it's not. But I do think there are some people, like I've met people who can walk into a room and it doesn't matter what the room is and they're comfortable. They'll just be themselves. And it doesn't mean that they don't have any insecurities. It doesn't mean that, they don't have any sadness or anything. But you look at them and you go like, I don't think this person is ever really all that unhappy, at least most of the time. They just know how to be happy. And I don't know, like
Yeah.
I saw this like one kid, I forget, I don't think he was like a Make-A-Wish kid or something, and he was on a major television show. I think he was on like the Steve Harvey show, and he just this strong kid, and Steve Harvey was just asking him like what his take is on life, and his mom was crying, and he said, "Stop crying. I don't have much time left. We don't have time for this." And like he was so strong, and he was just like, and of course his mom is crying because she's about to lose her son, right? And he's just this awesome kid, but he's got like a couple months left, and he's just so powerful and sweet, and he's just like, I don't care. Like I'm here. I'm having a great time and loving life. I just don't have time to dwell on this shit. And you and I, we haven't. I mean, I almost died as a kid, and obviously cancer could definitely have killed you. But we're still here, right? We're still up, we're still up, and we're fighting, and we're living our lives, and we still have a lot of things to be grateful for, and yet we still find ways to be sad anyway and miserable. We don't have somebody telling me, look, we could die any second, right? But we haven't been given a date when we're going to die. We're still kicking, right? You've made it 60 some years, I've made it 30 some years, and we're okay. Could it be a lot better? Hell yeah. But again, it could be a hell of a lot worse too. And yet we still find ways to be sad, and we still tend to hate ourselves. And it's like, I don't know what that is. I feel like that's something else. That's all the trauma and all the things we do. I don't know, and I don't say this to be negative. I just don't know if we can ever get beyond that. I think we can heal, we can get better, and we can improve. But I just don't know if that's ever going to leave us, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I mean, some of that I think is just, it's ingrained in your, psyche, if that's the right way to say it, or how you, somewhere along the line, it's a product of how you were raised, or some trauma that you suffered, but I think you're right. It's just something that I'm going to have to deal with, or all of us that suffer from this. And it's just, what matters really is how you deal with it, I guess, how you learn to get around it, how to ignore it, or, it's, I don't know. But I agree. I think it's something that's just there. It's part of us. And,
Yeah.
it's something you have to learn to deal with, I guess.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I just, I don't think there's a pill that's ever going to fix us. I don't think, exercising and eating better. I think there's things can help and make our lives, it can improve our lives for sure. But I just feel like so much has happened and so much has been done that it's like, it's hard. You can't forget these things. And I feel like even if I got dementia, like I would still remember all the bad. And maybe I'm being negative. I don't know, but I don't know. And maybe if certain things got better, if I fell in love and I found a career that paid more and these different things that I want, right? My eyes got a little better. Maybe I'd be happy, but there's also a chance that maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's possible.
And it's just learning how to deal with it better, learning how to just, you're going to have your days. And like you said earlier, after 3 days, you're like, all right, enough is enough. Like there's got to be a point where you just put your hand up and go, all right, I gave you your fun. You had a fun time at my expense,
Yep.
But it's Thursday. And I've stayed quiet long enough, and I'm taking control of this ship right now. So you just stay quiet. Come back
there
next
you go.
week. Come back in a couple days or whatever. But let me enjoy my family time at the Olive Garden. Let me enjoy movie night. Let me go enjoy one of Tim's lives. I need a break. That's fair, right? Come on, let's be fair here. You got to have those conversations. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've told myself out loud, like, shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up, because we're at a family reunion or whatever. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be sad about right now. Yes, we know these things are still looming. They're near, but at the same time, we're okay. We're okay. I came into this year saying, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get through half of these things. And we're already almost into July. So it's like, okay, you're going to get through it. It's going to be hard sometimes. And so I don't think it's ever fully healing or fully, getting rid of these demons. I don't think we can, I don't know, maybe not, but I don't think we'll ever be fully rid of them. I think it's just accepting them, that they're going to be there, and just learning to deal with them better, learning to counteract them better, learning to just be on your toes a little more, and just constantly learning how to adjust on the fly. And I don't know, because I've definitely gotten better with them. I've definitely learned to deal with them a lot better than I ever did. I used to just lay down and curl up in a ball and let them win all the time. And now it comes and goes. But yeah, I think I don't, and I, like some will say, well, you could take more medication, you could do this and you could do that. But there's a point where then you lose, your humanity. You lose who you are. And I want to still be me at the end of the day. And
exactly. Some of that medicine just zones you out, and you don't even feel human, And that's a good point. I definitely agree with that. I mean, that happy balance in there where, the medicine is helping, but you still are you, and you still make your own decisions, and you still, can fight. So that's a good point.
Yeah, because if you took medication that could get rid of all your chronic pain, like it went away tomorrow, but yet all you did was sleep, and you had emotional Botox, where you just couldn't show any emotion for anything, it would ruin your marriage. Like, it would ruin the rest of your life. Like, if I could take a medication that could cure my eyesight, but it dismantled my hearing or something else, I wouldn't do it.
No.
Like, obviously, if you could take a pill and your pain went away and there was, no cause and effect, right? There was no con. It was all pro. Then hell yeah, we would do that. Yeah. But that's not realistic. So
no.
Yeah. So
I love that. That's a good point.
Yeah, so that's the problem that comes with it. So I think it comes down to just figuring out how to cope with them, learn to live with them. I guess it would just be like if you had like really shitty in-laws and they had to move in with you, and you just kind of they're annoying, but you got to deal with them. Like they live
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, right? And so you got to live with them. And yeah, like I said, our demons live with us. They know all our flaws. They know everything about us, and they don't pay rent, but they they rent space, and they're a pain in the ass. But we got to figure out how to continue to just deal with them every day, because mine jump
you
on
have
me.
to get along somehow.
Yeah, mine jump on me as soon as my eyes open up, as soon as I'm coherent enough. Not even coherent. As soon as I'm just half awake, it's like, hey, good morning. Just letting you know, you look like shit. Good morning. Thanks. Nice.
Wow.
Nice. It's like,
that's when you need some kind of a demon punch bag or something, so you can just beat the crap out of them in the morning when you get up.
yeah, or they just throw random shit. Like, Bullet's already 7, so at best you have another 10 years with him. It's like, oh, thanks, fucking great. Like, just...
Oh, my gosh, I can't believe you said that, Tim. You have a direct line into my brain, let me tell you. That's one of my other demons, because our dogs are 10 and 9. And I've told you this before, we love them so much. They're our kids. And that damn little demon will pop up and say, yeah, but you don't have much time left with them.
Yeah.
I hate that demon.
Or it's anything like that. Like, I'm sure it goes after your age, right? Or, how much time you have left with your husband or whatever. Like, your husband can have a cough and it's like, see, he's dying.
He's on his way out.
And I know that sounds like really like brutal, but that's what it's like. It's so negative, and sometimes it's really like, I've talked about it, but there was times when I wasn't on medication, my anxiety was an all-time high. I would see women and I would say I want to sexually assault them, not because I was into that, but because I was so low about myself. I think the worst shit about life, about people, anybody who had something that I didn't have, because I was so insecure and so dark and lonely. And even though I would have never acted it out, it was scary enough that I even thought it. And,
oh my gosh.
And those things are real. Now, I don't think about stuff like that anymore, but I do think about horrible shit to myself, like killing myself or whatever. And I don't feel like I'm ever going to do it. But just the thought of every now and then where you're just like, the other day when I was having that bad eye day, I was just like, God, I just wish a bullet would come through this window. Like, just, and it
I've been there too.
It lasts for a few seconds or a few minutes, but it's just sad that it goes into your brain like that. And you feel awful. You're like, why do I want to die right now? Like, I love myself. I love my life. I love a lot of things, but I don't really want to die, do I?
No. And it is so scary that, when you find out like this, that other people have those same kind of thoughts, in a way it's scary, and in a way, and this can sound terrible, but in a way it's comforting, because you feel like, oh, I'm not the only, whacked out person in the world that, thinks maybe this pain is so bad that I should just end it all,
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounded horrible to say it like that.
It's real. Like, yeah. I mean, even when I said the thing about your husband with the cough, like, there's a part of you that goes, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." But we think shit like that. We really do.
We
like
do.
With our pets
I have thought that. I mean, this is scary how much you understand, because Mark is not the type of person that goes to the doctor. I think a lot of men are that way.
Yeah.
But just not too long ago, he went for a checkup, and they told him that he has that white coat syndrome really bad. He's afraid of doctors and hospitals and stuff.
Sure.
But he went, and his blood pressure was really high. So the doctor put him on blood pressure medicine. Well, he started taking it, but it made him kind of feel goofy, And I said, Mark, you have to adjust these things. You have to talk to your doctor and let him adjust it, Oh, no, he's done with it. He won't, he doesn't want to deal with it. So I honestly, here, we're not young chickens anymore. And it worries me, because I've told you this before. I worry about everything. If I can't find something to worry about, I'll dream up something to worry about.
Amen.
But because he won't take his medicine, and so I worry about that. And that demon pops up and says, "Yeah, Mark, he's not listening. So you probably won't have much more time with him."
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's always something.
But what can I do? It's like he's a grown person. I can talk till I'm blue in the face and tell him that he needs to go do this or that, but he's going to do what he wants to do. And it's kind of like with our other demons. You have to just deal with it. You just have to, say, this is his life. I can suggest and encourage all I want, but this is his choice. So
yeah,
I just need to enjoy him and, have a good life with him. And what happens is going to happen. I can't do anything about it. So.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, I don't know where that came from. Sorry, I threw that
in.
in.
You're fine. It's real. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's our biggest problem is we spend so much time worrying about the unknown that when it actually eventually happens, you look back on it and you go, fuck, I just spent 5 years worrying about this and it didn't even happen until now. Like,
yeah.
I could have enjoyed 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it sucks that we're going to lose our pets. It sucks we're going to lose everybody we love and we're going to die and all these things. Yeah, it sucks, but make the most of it now. I mean, especially since you got a huge scare with cancer, right? I got a huge scare with SJS, and it's like, let's make the most of this shit. Let's do it. But some days it's just, it doesn't matter all that encouraging shit you say. It doesn't matter how much empowerment you have deep down inside. And you're like, yeah, I'm powerful. Yeah, I'm amazing. And you just look around at your situation and you're like, I hate my fucking life. I don't want to be here anymore. And you're like, what? Yeah. And then you come back the next day. Like I pray every day. And sometimes I'm just like, God, I don't even blame you if you don't feel like listening to me today. Because yesterday I said, I'm going to calm down on the feeling just so erratic and just stressing out. And then I come back like 2 days later and I'm just like, all right, God, I need you to find me a woman now because I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of watching shows where people are in love and I'm not in love. And it's like, God, like, I don't blame you if you don't listen to me today because I'm a little crazy. I'm not bipolar, but you feel like that sometimes where you're like, why?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why am I so happy sometimes? And I'm like, there's days where like I'm on live or whatever and I'm laughing and I'm like, why are you laughing? Like you feel like shit. But, I guess that's a good thing. But at the same time, I don't know, man. It's just so much. It's so confusing. And I don't think anybody
really
has all the answers. I think, I think some of some things I say to some people, they're like, I don't get it. But like to you, it makes sense, right? So it just, everybody
Absolutely.
has answers. And there's someone out there we can relate to.
I think that's a big point there is, we're not going to find the answers. We're not going to figure all of this out, here today talking, but just getting this all out, letting me talk about what my fears are, why these demons that I have. It's so helpful. It's almost like a pressure release, It's so nice to be able to talk to some. I keep saying the same things over, and I'm so sorry, but
you're fine.
It's so nice to talk to someone that understands, and it just helps you kind of calm down and just put things into perspective. And even though we don't know what the real answer is, but at least I know, okay, I'm not going through this alone. There's other people that do this. We can keep going. We can keep pushing. We can keep, reaching for whatever our goals are.
Yeah.
And it's going to be okay. And we can keep telling ourselves that. And I think that just really helps. I mean, I just, since finding your page and your posts and everything, it's just that daily affirmation that, yeah, I might have a bad day, but it's going to be all right. I'll make it, and tomorrow will be better.
Right.
So
absolutely,
it's just really a good thing, and I just want to thank you again so much.
Of course, yeah. Let's wrap up while we're here. And, I hope you had a good time. I told you it's pretty easy. Once you kind of get into it, you can't see this red light that says record on it, but you kind of forget about it once you're just talking.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, and I'm sure you could tell, I was nervous at the beginning, but just talking talking to a friend and just kind of letting all this stuff out, it just starts to flow and it just kind of pours out, and it really helped me get past the nerves and just enjoy speaking to someone that really understands and can relate to what I'm feeling. So this has been wonderful, Tim. I truly appreciate this.
Of course. Well, hopefully you get on my live here in about 10-15. I'm gonna put those things together.
Okay, sure. Wow, the time flew by, didn't it?
She bought me shoe storage. It's on my Amazon wish list. So she bought me some shoe storage, and I'm gonna try to put them together. So.
All right, cool. We'll hope for a better outcome this time, right?
Yes. Either way, I'm gonna use them all regardless. But yeah, they feel hefty. So I haven't taken them out of the box. So I don't even know what they look like in person. So we'll see.
Oh no. Okay.
I know. But I'll see you there. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate talking to you. Next time, we'll do this more often, but we'll do this without a recording.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Tim. Take care.
Yep.
And give Bullet a kiss for me, okay?
I will.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love my Cheryl. She's awesome. And, I'm going to go eat because I really haven't eaten all day, and that's a problem. And it's like 4 o'clock, so that's not good. All right, so love y'all. Take care of yourselves. And please, if you're hearing this in the summertime, stay cool. It sucks out there. It's 90-some degrees. It's going to be bad all week, probably all month of July. Recording this on June 30th, so yeah, it's basically July. Anyway, love y'all. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Stay blessed. Love y'all. Wah, wah.